What's going on, guys? Welcome back to LOI Fan TV, and it is as it was in terms of the title race. Of course, we're going to be looking back at last weekend's fixtures, a couple of massive wins for the sides at the top of the table. I'm going to look back at it all with Luke. Luke, how you doing, man?
Oh, good, yeah. As you said, kind of common practice week. Not that common this season, but yeah, all the favourites
No,
won.
for a
Yeah, weird
change.
for a nice. Well, I say nice, so it was nice individually, but like you're kind of hoping that one or two of your
I
rivals slip up.
know.
It goes into another week of the madness.
Yeah, yeah. It was a funny moment when Liam Burt, we'll get into all this, but when Liam Burt scored for Shells, it was ecstasy, and then look at your phone and Dylan Watts to score for Shamrock Rovers, and it kind of brings you down back to earth a little bit,
Oh, stop! Honestly, the emotions of like just having live score on the phone, like, it's just mad, isn't it? Like,
I
they
know.
there was so many like talking to one last bit. They were just like, it's mad watching the league table was just kept on doing
All
that
over
through
the
the
shop.
games.
Yeah, yeah,
Mad,
it's
like.
mad. It's mad. We will start off with Saturday's game. And it saw Bohemians secure their status as a Premier Division side for next season. Of course, Sligo nil, Bohemians 2. Disappointing result for Sligo. Obviously, they were still kind of in that mix. If they had won that game, they would have been 2 points behind Pats. They would have been in fifth place. That kind of rules them out of any European talk now. So after a couple of good results from as well, I think it's very disappointing below to lose that.
Yeah, I was very surprised at that result. Like we kind of both were predicted Sligo take maximum points from that game. So yeah, a weird one. But like to be fair, you look at Bows' team and they should be performing like that. And Dawson Devoy, like I saw both goals and he was heavily involved in both. So
Yeah,
yeah,
quality like.
yeah, I suppose the pressure was on Bows a little bit, and especially with dropping points. So she look, that's kind of that's kind of made Sligo and Bows have nothing to play for now. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
pretty much. Yeah, yeah. Bows for the season now is important for them to kind of get results for Rennie more than anything if they want to keep him on. Jinky keeps his job at the end of the year.
I don't know. It's a tough one, isn't it? Like I've heard some people in the space saying that like they've given him a kind of a long-termish deal, and they've let him sign. They're going to let him sign further. So look, it's really nothing surprised me at that club, to be honest. Like, what do you think will happen?
Yeah, it's hard to know. It just depends who's out there. Like I heard a couple of like murmurs that Jim Crawford might be available or something like that. And if he came about, definitely one to look at. But the only danger is he probably deserves the window again, to get his own players in and stuff and kind of stamp his own authority on it. But I feel like it could be another Declan Devine 2.0, same as last year, and just it's a rinse and repeat, like rinse and repeat job. Get someone else in to try and save the season. So, yeah, I think unless you can get a Crawford or a Keith Long out of Waterford, I don't think it's much point in changing them because not really anyone out there, is there?
Can't really see Jim Crawford like obviously it makes sense like for if he wants to progress in his career, but like he's got a cushy number there, like he's got a very
Yeah,
cushy number, and there's like we're producing players, and it's kind of a win-win that job because like we get so close every time, but it's deemed a success based off previous results under like Noel King and so on. So
yeah,
like yeah,
yeah.
he kind of even if he does crap for in the next campaign for Ireland, like he's sitting on a diamond, so to speak. So I don't know. It'd be interesting anyway. Bows, they have money to spend, so money talks. We'll see, but I can't
That's
see it.
it. That's it. Yeah, obviously both they have secured their status in the Premier Division for next year. Sligo, as I say, nothing to play for now. Next game, St. Pat's. Narrow win over Galway, a massive, massive result though. Put some 3 points clear of Galway. That game was kind of to see who would still be in the mix, really, going into the last two games. That probably rules Galway out more than likely. Well, you just
Yeah.
never know in this league, of course. Obviously, Pats have a tough game this weekend, but it more than likely rules them out of top four finish, you would think, and just in terms of momentum and things like that. So, Pats obviously open the scoring through Aidan Keena. It's just mad that he's their backup striker behind Mason Media. Like Aidan Keena is probably one of the best strikers in the league. Like, and he scored a brace to seal the deal for them.
Ridiculous. Yeah. I was even watching their goals. I'm watching them tear Galway. I didn't see the game, so I heard it was tight. But like when you're watching the goals, like it's like tiki taka cutting
Yeah,
open Galway. I'm like, nobody does that to Galway. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just, yeah, thank God the season ended two games though, because
I know.
they're on a mission. Like, and they're
What's
just,
that, 7 or 8 wins in a row or something like?
it's ridiculous. I can't remember what the stat was. It's something like Pats are the first team to win seven in a row in years. I don't
I'd
know. I
say it
can't
is,
remember.
yeah.
Yeah, it was like Shelbourne's team of like in the two. No, no, that can't be right because Dundalk like won, and Cork as well in 2018 won like 17 out of 18. But like, yeah, it's the first time in a while that teams put together like a lot of wins like that. And like fair play
Yeah.
to Stephen Kenny on his credentials, but yeah, Galway. it's just too little, too late, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Ed McCarthy on the score sheet for them. Do you think he gets a move in the winter? He's had a good
Well,
season, in
could.
fairness.
Well, could like Cork are coming up and like that sounds like a step backwards, but like I'm sure they will spend big in the off season and like that West Coast. We could even see him go to Sligo. You just don't know. You just don't know in this
Yeah, yeah,
league. You just don't know. But yeah, he, as I said, a great goal by all accounts. And yeah, I could well see a few of those Galway players in the shop window in November.
yeah. Yeah, he's one that I wouldn't even be surprised to see a kind of a big club or a perceived kind of big Dublin club maybe taking a punt on him as well. Because he has been fantastic this season. He has a lot of attributes that would contribute a lot to even like a Shells or whoever it might be. So definitely want to keep an eye on. But Pats, what's their ceiling now? 53 points, 4 off Shells, 2 off yourselves, 2 off Derry. Can they crack that top 3? Obviously playing
I
Derry
think they
this
can
weekend, aren't
crack.
they?
I think they can crack the top 3. As I said, like Derry, like you look at that game, you just think the Pats are going to get something out of it, like at least a point. And I think
Yeah.
if they're probably going to beat Derry if they're going to finish ahead of them. But yeah, like Sligo now, that's their last game. Like they've nothing really to play for now, and you can see them winning that. And it's just a matter of if they beat Derry, they get. I think if they beat Derry, they get top 3. And what do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably agree. I think it's definitely in their own hands at this stage. I think, yeah, as you say, Sligo looked like a tough game on paper, but maybe one they would fancy more now. Sligo are kind of out of it now, so definitely it's there for the taking. That's going to be a huge, huge game. We'll discuss that in our next video, but that's a massive, massive game in Richmond Park on Friday night for a number of different sides. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes down. But yeah, big win for Pats to stay in that mix. Obviously, Galway's never an easy game, but got the job done. 2-1 win for them. Next we have Shells 3-1 victory over Waterford. A bit of a scare. Porrigammon put Waterford in the lead just until the 37 minutes. A penalty for them, but just before the break, Sean Boyd with a huge, huge equaliser that kind of set the tone for the second half, really. And Shells were good value for their win as well, in fairness. But I think that goal before half time kind of settled the nerves that would have been in there. If it had been 1-0 down in the dressing room, I think would have been a lot more kind of nervy vibes.
Yeah, like as I said, like I was up in Drogheda, but like I saw Waterford go 1 up on my phone, and it's so funny like where your mind goes. I'm like, this is like I was convinced the Shells were either at best going to draw the game, and I was like, right, it's us and Derry now, it's us and Derry, and then
Yeah,
2 quick fire goals in the second half, you're 3-1, and then we haven't
yeah,
scored. I'm like, Shells are going to win the league,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like it's so funny. Like it literally went from say Shells are like about they're bottling it completely and they're gone to they're gonna win the league. But yeah,
Literally, it's
like,
mad, isn't it? Like,
I watched the highlights back. Yeah, I don't know what Darrell he was doing for
it's
that
poor,
first
it's
goal,
poor.
Sean Boyd. Like Jesus, like if he did that in Sunday League level, he'd be ridiculed. Connor Kearns
Yeah,
made a great save at 1-0.
he did.
That was a great save. And then, Liam Burton, like, moment of magic. I personally thought, like, Sargent got a good hand on that. Like, I know, like, it would have been a cracking save he made it, but, like, I was, like, looking at it saying, geez, if you could make that much contact with it, surely you save it. You know what I mean?
You could tip it around the post or something. Yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
point, to be fair. Yeah, yeah.
But it's still a great goal by him. And, yeah, that prick now better not, you know what I mean? Loaned him to use in good faith. What's he
On
doing?
loan. Yeah, yeah. Imagine he could be the difference maker. He could be the difference maker.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Ali Q came off injured with a bit of a knock, so it'll be interesting to see if he's available this weekend. But yeah, Liam Burt looks he's a dangerous player and he's in form like that. We know what he's kind of capable of. And yeah, it's a great goal just to kind of at 2-1, you're never quite fully secure in that lead. Like it always could be something happening, but that kind of just eased the nerves and kind of gave us that platform to kind of see it out then after that. But and it gave us that belief we needed to win as well badly. Like it was a bad out run of form we had been in. And so it's just so important to get 3 points. It doesn't really matter how you play really at this stage of the season. Although we didn't play badly, it's just to spec out the 3 points on the board in a game like that. And it could have been a banana skin, but it was a kind of professional enough second half to get the job done. And Boyd coming into some real form, isn't he?
Did he mean the penalty?
Boydie.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd say he didn't meet the crossbar now, but I think he was going high with it. I think it was probably a bit too close to comfort for him. But he rattled it in like.
Can I quote you? Can I quote you what you said in the weekend about him?
What did I say?
Best striker in the league.
Well, like on his day, I think he's unplayable on his day. Like he's a handful. He's an absolute handful.
No, he's
unorthodox. Like he's awkward to deal with. Like
he's mad, isn't he? Like he's like built. Like I even remember when he broke through a Rovers. Like he has like this like burst of pace about him, but you look at him, he's like 6'5".
Yeah.
Get with him.
Yeah, no, I think he scored some big goals. It's always been his injury record, which has been a bit of a disappointment from in terms of playing consistently. But like I think when he's in the team, gets to run the team, he always scores goals by hook or by crook. He always nicks a few goals, you know. I think in terms of like top class strikers in the league, maybe looking at Hoban, there's not a huge amount really. Armin's dropped off big time. He was prior to penalty, he was quite very quiet. There's not a huge amount of quality strikers in the league. Maybe you're looking at obviously Pats, maybe McKenna and Mealy. You'd swap them for those two, but outside of that, there's maybe Johnny Kenny, but he's in the top 3 or 4, I'd say.
What do you think, apart from his injuries, do you think that there's like any other aspects of his game that, kind of stops him from being a Pat Hoban? Or
I think it was. I think he's worked on it this season definitely, but beforehand it was definitely a disciplinary record. Like I think he was getting booked nearly every game, a couple of City red cards, and he'd be kind of overly emotional and things like that. And I think Duff's maybe found that way to prod him at times when he needs to be, but kind of rein him in at times. And he's definitely improved on that side of the game. And I do think that because of his reputation, that he does sometimes get free kicks blown against him that aren't quite warranted because of it's like a Kevin Davis or something, Joe, and kind of showing him like like you're kind of roughing people up, but it's not a foul, but the referee's kind of more likely to give it to you. But he gives a bit of lip to the ref as well. But I think he's been really solid the last couple of weeks, and I think the way he's been playing a bit more direct 4-4-2, John Martin and Boyd up front, I think is causing teams problems, and it's good that Duff has adapted to try and find new ways to kind of get at opponents without Will Jarvis, who was obviously our main man. So he's had to try and find a new way to pick up results, and this could be the route forward for us.
Yeah, as I said, like he's one of these players that if you just like, you could almost see him getting 30 goals in a season if things fall the right way for him. He's one of these players, or it's either he gets 30 or he gets 5. Like there's no in between. He's kind of one of those players. Like what version of Sean Moyne you going to get? But he's a quality addition. Like and yeah, you certainly don't like even against when he's played us. Like he's a handful. He's just huge. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just a unique like kind of player in terms of what all the other strikers in the league have. And I don't think any centre half looks forward to playing up against him, to be fair, because he has, as you said, versus speed, he has a bit of strength, he has that height, can win headers, win throw-ins, win free kicks and stuff. So yeah, I think he's a handful on his day, and hopefully he can kick on now for the last couple of games and be a big, because I think in our previous game against Derry this season, actually he up there in Emmanuel, he scored a late equaliser for us as well, so he's popped up with some big moments for us this season, so long may that continue. But yeah, very important win for Shelbourne in Talcott Park on Friday night. A massive 3 points for them to keep them 2 points clear. Another title contender, Derry City, obviously went to Dundalk, and it was kind of a routine enough 2-0 win for them. Colin Whelan, obviously in place of Pat Hoban, opened the scoring on 16 minutes. I kind of forgot he played for them really after his long-term injury. But good to see him back. Well, not from our perspective, but good on a general personal perspective to see him back. And then Will Patching laid on with a pen, I think it was, to wrap up the win for them. So kind of comfortable enough. And Dundalk obviously secured their relegation, confirmed their relegation. So yeah, Derry, big win for them considering the last couple of weeks. But is it too little too late?
It's hard to say, isn't it? It's really a lot depends on what happens in our next game, which we'll talk about in the next video. But like, yeah, like their goal difference is almost like an extra point for them. That's just kind of people looking at the league and like that. That's massive. Like you just don't know. You just don't know if they get it. Like if they draw in Richmond and then play use. I'm trying to calculate this in my head. If they're within 3 points, sorry, I can't even work it out. But if they're within 3 points of you, in the final day, like their goal difference could potentially win them the title, and it's just you just don't know. You just don't know what version of Derry. It's just so hard to predict.
If they draw this weekend and we win, they can't catch us.
Yeah, they can't. Okay, yeah. So they
need to win if we win. Yeah.
There's a huge ask. There's a big chance, like because a draw in Richmond Park is a good result, and that's hard to get. And if we both win this weekend, which we probably both will, let's be honest. There, see you later. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. I think like they've been the only team. Like I know, like you've been top, but they've been there all year, and now they're on the verge of being out of it. It's just it's a mad league.
It's mad, isn't it? It's nuts. Dundalk, then touching them quickly, obviously relegated. Kind of sad to see a club that big going to be in the first division, and will they even be in the first division? It's kind of scary times for them. I think there was a bit of a scrap in the stands after the game between the new owner and previous owners, and it's just an absolute mess. And hopefully they can get it all sorted out, but it doesn't look great, does it?
No, it's just the whole thing up there is a disgrace. Like the 10 years of reign they had, 2 group stages. Yeah. And just the state, like if you look at the pictures from 10 years ago to today, it looks like nothing's changed. Like there's been no reinvestment into that club, and it's a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. And Dundalk, go into a Monaghan United or Sporting Fingal extinction, it'll be, it'll be a really step backwards for not just Dundalk, but for the rest of the league. Like, as they're
Yeah,
a banner club, and I can't see them bouncing back like Cork did. To be honest, I think they have big financial problems ahead of them. What do you think will happen?
yeah. I think if they are, which hopefully they are, a club next season, I think a year or two, and I think 2 or 3 years maybe in the first division mightn't be the worst thing in the world. Probably
A
look just
reset.
to rebuild, and get a couple of young lads in and start from fresh there and get a you kind of young. I don't think John Daly will stick around. I think he said that already. So I think getting a kind of a young coach in, and like I don't know, Brian Gartner's gone to
Someone like
Pats and
someone like
Ryan's at
Kieran
Bohs,
Kilduff, or
someone
like
like that. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, some young
yeah.
kind of former player or something with a bit of connection to the club or whatever. I think get the Horgans and the Bensons and the likes will go Andy Boyles, but maybe they can keep hold of like your Ryan O'Kane's and stuff. It's so up in the air. So like if they keep hold of a few of those young lads, like they probably will be in the. It doesn't take a lot to be in those playoffs. Like realistically, like it's not a great standard. Like so, if they kept hold of a couple of young lads, they could well be in that mix. But I don't. I think a year or two in the first division might be the worst thing in the world just to kind of reset and go again.
I wonder what the crack is with Daryl Horgan's contract, because obviously he signed a new one
Yeah,
before all this started. Like, so is he going to be playing first division football?
mad.
I wonder, I wonder what's going to
Like
happen
the
there.
thing is with Daryl Horgan, like I think he was playing League One recently enough. Was the last
Pick
season,
him.
English season? He was probably around.
Yeah,
Was it? Did he join? Did he join last? Was he here this whole season? Was he? I think he was,
he
wasn't he?
signed July last year. I think they got to a
July
round of Europe
last year. Was it?
last year, and he signed off the
Yeah,
back of that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think like would you take him at Rovers? Would Shells take him? That's like probably not. Like maybe Shells would possibly, but
I could even see him going back to Galway or something.
something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, something like that. I assume they'll just let
Cork,
him
sorry,
walk.
Cork, or
There's
even
no,
Cork or Galway, like something like that. It wouldn't surprise you.
yeah, yeah, I could see it, as long as they can get him off the wage bill, I'd seem to let him walk for free. So,
Yeah.
but if he's on good money there, like he mightn't be. Yeah, it's so up in the air. It's completely up in the air. You imagine for the love of the club, he'd probably walk away if he gets a decent offer somewhere else. Like,
Yeah,
um,
you'd imagine so.
and Benson's and the likes doing similar. So yeah, it's a sad story, sad state of affairs. But I do think at this stage it's just about having a club on the pitch next season for the first game of the season, the first division, and not demanding instant success and just being patient with it, and hopefully things will turn around. And no doubt about it, they will be back in the Premier Division one day. But I think a year or two, what wouldn't be the worst thing.
No, they need to reset, and hopefully they're still a club, as you said.
Absolutely. And then finally, Drogheda United against Shamrock Rovers. We're going to touch on it a little bit throughout the video, but yeah, massive win for Shamrock Rovers. And I was kind of saying to you at the start of the video, as Liam Burt scored, and I was pausing, looked at my phone. Dylan Watts has banged one in, and in fairness, I watched it back, absolute cracker, and it could be a title-winning goal and a significant moment you look back on at the end of the season if it is one that you're victorious in.
Could well be. Jesus, my heart cannot handle it. Like, I was literally sitting there after seeing you went 3-1 up, and I was like, everyone is winning but us. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I was like, here we go again, another false dawn. Like, we're back out of it for the 100th time. And then you see Dylan Watts, take that touch out of his feet and hit it. And as soon as it leaves his foot, it's one of these shots. You're just like, it's in. You could just almost see it before it goes in. It's in. And yeah, it was just a huge win. And like, Drogheda, yeah, they're tough, and like even against you now next week, like they're one of these teams. Like even if they have nothing to play with, they're just difficult, aren't they? Like they're just
Yeah.
big, sturdy, experienced, kind of. They like the dark arts. They're wasting time from goal kicks in the 20th minute. It was a big banana skin, but we got by it. And like our next two games now are very winnable, and it's just a matter of what everyone else does now. So we kind of just need to, we've a European game now on Thursday. We'll kind of drift their focus a bit from the title race, and we'll kind of get to see what happens on Friday. But yeah, like it's a huge win, and it could be enough, but it should be enough based off what's happened this season. If we win our last two games, we just never know, do you?
Yeah, no, it's impossible to know, but I do think it definitely puts you firmly in the driving seat. I think, yeah, looking at your last two games, like I'd be shocked if you don't get maximum points from them. Obviously, a relegate Dundalk and a Waterford side that you're more than capable of beating as a team with nothing to play for. So yeah, I'd be shocked if you don't win them. So it puts the pressure on Shells and Derry to go and get maximum points. Yeah, huge win. I think it could be one of the most significant wins of the season. It probably could be your biggest win of the year. And Dylan Watts is probably a player that's maybe gone under the radar at times, but he's a class act, and he'd be up there for in team of the years and all that kind of conversation at the end of the season. He's a quality player. I've said it ever since he came to BOHS. Actually, I think he was on loan from Leicester originally. You can kind of see he had serious talent and serious ability, and yeah, he's a great player to watch. So massive moment from him, and a huge win for Shamrock Rovers. And yeah, we'll see how the next kind of couple of game weeks go in terms of the title race panning out. Will it go to the final day? Will Shamrock Rovers drop points at Dundalk? No, nobody knows. Nobody knows. But let's hope. But there, as our little review of last weekend's games, and we will have a preview ahead of a massive weekend again in the League of Ireland this weekend. So that'll be out on Thursday. So make sure to stay tuned for that. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to drop a like on it down below, and please do subscribe. It is much appreciated. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in a bit.